Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. He's naming the Kennedy Center after his wife? That's kind of sweet. I wish I knew why I have a recurring dream I'm pinned beneath a giant orange sack of shit.
Is Melania Trump really living a life of luxury? Or is she trapped in what Bill Maher calls a gilded cage? His sharp comments about her marriage to Trump left the audience gasping, and her silence might be the loudest response yet. But Trump? He didn't take it well, unleashing a firestorm of rage on Truth Social. Let's break down the drama and the secrets Maher just aired. Before we move on, I will like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video.
Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. You have his. He'll be out here in a minute. And I did it. It's practically a rite of passage. You have mine. There you go. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money.
Bill Maher didn't hold back on live TV, turning his comedic spotlight into what felt more like a laser-focused takedown of the Trump brand. And he aimed squarely at the former president's most sensitive spot, his marriage. Maher kicked things off with a jab that likened Trump's relationship with Melania to Slovenia's national cuisine. Boring, bland, and completely lacking spice. The audience erupted as Maher turned up the heat, their laughter mixed with audible gasps, and it was clear he had no plans to tiptoe around the topic. What made this roast stand out wasn't only the humor, it was Maher's knack for hitting where it hurts while sneaking in a sharp critique. He described Melania's role in the marriage as one of eerie silence, quipping that her refusal to say "I love you" back was louder than any words she could have spoken.
I copied this list from Michelle Obama. Sometimes when I bounce light off my diamond, Donald's hair will chase it like a cat. I wish I knew why I have a recurring dream I'm pinned beneath a giant orange sack of shit. And if I could tell my younger self just one thing, it would be this. If you catch a leprechaun and he gives you one wish, be more specific.
Maher even painted her as a real-life version of a leprechaun's twisted fairy tale. Handed diamonds, a luxurious palace, and all the wealth she could want, but no real freedom to match it. It wasn't just jokes. It was a brutal caricature of a life choreographed for public display, leaving many to wonder if there was any sincerity behind the glitz. One particular line struck a nerve not just in the room, but across social media. Maher referred to Melania's gilded existence as being glamorous on the outside, but hollow behind the golden facade. TikTok alone saw countless replays of his gilded cage metaphor as viewers dissected if Maher was joking or stating the obvious. Twitter wasn't far behind, with hashtags about the Trump marriage trending overnight. And while Maher surely intended to get laughs, the deep online engagement suggested his jokes tapped into a widespread suspicion. Maybe this marriage isn't as picture perfect as glossy headlines made it seem.
He's naming the Kennedy Center after his wife? That's kind of sweet. He's naming the Kennedy Center after... Wait, what? Wasn't it a law that he had to sell TikTok?
But perhaps the biggest question lingered in the air. Maher's audience and Twitter followers alike couldn't help but wonder, was this really just comedy aimed at getting laughs? Or did Maher manage to dig into something Donald Trump is desperate to keep hidden? Whatever the intent, one thing was clear. This roast wasn't leaving Trump's ego without a scratch. When the roast aired, Trump was watching, and let's just say his reaction was far from the cool, calculated demeanor he loves to flaunt. While the audience laughed, gasped, and replayed Maher's brutal takedown in their heads.
You are not to leave your girdle on the bathroom floor. You are not to ask for hand. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy. You are not allowed to eat Wendy's in bed. Tell Wendy I can hear her.
Trump reportedly spiraled almost instantly. Behind the scenes, sources say he utterly lost his temper. Picture this: Trump pacing furiously, like a madman, shouting at everyone unlucky enough to be nearby. It's not exactly the type of behavior you'd expect from someone unfazed by a comedy routine, but if one thing's for sure, Trump's ego is no stranger to taking things personally. And then of course came the public meltdown, because nothing stays private when Trump has access to Truth Social. Determined to end the roasting session on his terms, Trump hopped on his platform to label Maher's comments as traitorous and even wicked defamation.
His name is Barron, and he's our son. Stop asking who's the kid. When I say I love you, do not reply with "you're welcome." If I say jump, you, I'd like to see that. You must at least consider drinking or whatever else will put you to sleep.
You can almost hear the desperation in those words. In his mind, this wasn't just about a comedian getting a laugh. It was a full frontal attack on his image, and Trump was doing everything he could to claw back control. But ironically, his outburst only shined a bigger spotlight on the exact thing he wanted people to ignore. Now, contrast all of that chaos with Melania's response, or rather, her complete and utter silence. While Trump shouted into the void of his social media echo chamber, Melania said nothing. No cryptic Instagram stories, no public statements, not even a throwaway comment to deflect the chatter, just silence. And here's the twist: that silence spoke louder than any public response ever could. It fueled speculation and whispers that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't rushing to defend the man whom Maher described as the warden of her so-called gilded cage.
Or not to look at a single girl. I am allowed to do a phone check whenever I please. You are not to get mad at me about a single thing I ever do. Apparently this is catching on, and a lot of women are doing this now. We got a hold of Melania's list. I don't know if you'd like to, but these are her rules. You are never to take longer than 10 minutes to text me back. You are not to ask for head, and no, this is real. So
was this silence a deliberate move? A way for Melania to deflect blame or subtly challenge Trump's unyielding narrative? Whether intentional or not, it added another layer to Maher's jokes, transforming them into a cultural flashpoint. And while Trump scrambled to maintain his image, Melania's quiet presence only deepened the cracks. Bill Maher's roast didn't just poke fun, it raised a magnifying glass to what many already suspected. Trump's marriage to Melania might be more of a business deal than a love story.
But it was an amazing story. A man bought a used car, and he found something that somebody left in the car, which was a list of 22 relationship rules. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Did you have a good time? We thought we would... and save this for Valentine's Day. It's been floating around the internet for a couple of months that the previous car owner's girlfriend had laid out for this guy. And the guy posted it on the internet. This is real, and it became viral. Things like, you are not to have a single girl's phone number.
The luxury, the glitz, the golden gates. It all looked flawless on the outside, but Maher's metaphors chipped away at that shiny surface. This wasn't just comedy. It was a critique of how public figures package their lives for attention and power. The bigger question here? If one joke unraveled this much, what else might collapse if we keep looking behind the curtain? Stay curious. There's always more.